Hey guys, today I'm gonna be doing the first episode of random superhero reviews. So basically guys, since this is the first episode, I'm gonna tell you what this is all about. Here I've got a random wheel generator, and basically there is 20 superhero movies in there, and half them is either a DC movie or a Marvel movie. So 10 DC movies, 10 Marvel movies, and half of each of them category of superhero film would be good or bad. So 5 good DC movies, 5 bad DC movies, 5 Marvel good movies, and 5 Marvel bad movies. So basically I'm going to spin one of these, and whatever one does come out, I'll be doing a review for this. I'll be doing 2 reviews per episode, so maybe I'll get 2 good movies, 2 bad movies, or just a bad and good movie. Never know what comes out of this. It's basically just a fun way for me to do reviews instead of always just looking, God, should I do this movie or should I do that movie, that type stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and spin the first movie and we'll see what comes out. Yep, so we got Wonder Woman first off. Before I do the review, I like to say Wonder Woman was one of the good DC movies, one of the best out of the DCEU movies out there. So yeah, that is the first review which we'll be doing right now. Wonder Woman is one of the first superhero movies starring a woman, ignoring Superwoman, Catwoman and Elektra. This movie was directed by Patty Jenkins and stars Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. This movie shows us the origin of the Princess of the Amazons, Diana Prince, turning into a warrior of the Amazons, Wonder Woman. This shows Diana meeting an American pilot who ends up on the island and tells her about the war going on in the world. This is the World War. This is where Diana travels with the pilot to help the soldiers fight in the war as she goes as a warrior. I love the action, for example the tank flip, the shield trick, and how she destroys the top of that building, like many more scenes. I just love the action scenes a lot as well. Even though there is a lot of action, there is still a lot of heart and emotion you can see in Patty put in this film. I mean, there is a lot of emotion in this film. This is because for once in DCEU movies, a director and a writer has put in scenes where people aren't just fighting, but they just have witty and dramatic conversations in between the action scenes to develop a character. I mean by fighting also, yes, fair enough, in the Justice League we had that scene where they're all sitting with each other, but they were mostly just arguing that scene. It wasn't actually them showing their emotion, they were just arguing. So that is what I mean. In this movie, characters actually got developed, basically. It's also a movie where they never force comedy in. Like Justice League, you can tell Zack Snyder didn't want many comedy scenes in, but like since the different director like Joss Whedon and that, there was too much forced comedy for me. For once in this movie there is like just perfect comedy that is actually meant to be in the movie. For example, just look at the chemistry between Steve and Diana for a minute.
Whoa, I didn't see you come in.
Would you say you're a typical example of your sex?
I am above average.
What's that?
It's it's a watch.
A watch?
Yeah, it's a watch to...
Saying more about their chemistry, you can see how they fall in love. That scene where Steve tells Diana how he feels and gets on that plane just breaks my heart every time. This is due to the great writing of the film. I also like the Superman references for like this, for example. I love the character of Diana in the story. You see her so excited and naive at the start, and then at the end you see how dramatic she is after she finds out how the world really is. I also love how they didn't just make it look like women are better than men. For example, the No Man's Land scene, she didn't just do it because she wasn't a man, she did it because she needed to, and that is really important. This is how most women lead superhero films should be approached, because honestly heroes are for men and women. We don't need to separate the gender for them, just keep it for men and women. That is how it should be really approached. The villains were a little hammy, but hey, it's a DCEU film, so I'll just ignore that for once. Just by the way Patty Jenkins approaches this film and made it the best DCEU film by far, I'll give it 8.5 out of 10. Okay guys, I just removed Wonder Woman from the wheel and I'm going to give it another spin for the second reel of the episode. I'll also remove this for the next episode we have, which will possibly be next week depending how good this video does. So let's go. Okay, we got Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. I put this as the bad Marvel movies. I don't mind it, but it is really cringy, and to mostly general audiences it is a bad Marvel movie. I'll keep that in mind. I'll show like the bad side of it as well. There's nothing really good, but then it just doesn't mind me for some odd reason. It's a meh movie to me, but honestly, I'll do a review about the bad side. This is why I put it, to show why I put it in the bad side in the Marvel films. So yeah, here is the review for Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer is a sequel to the original Fantastic Four film. This time you see the team face off against the Silver Surfer who wants to destroy the Earth. While this is going on, Doctor Doom returns. Firstly, I think the main problem of this film is that they don't focus on the storyline that has Silver Surfer in it. It is used as a B-plot. It is a very serious, storyline in the movie. But since the first one was focusing mostly on the goofy Fantastic Four, it focuses more on the stupid drama and jokes more than the story and growth. But they don't do that right. Ben is literally used as a quick joke or used to quickly recap the movie. They just made Reed and Sue argue about work, about either if they want to work more as the team, and Reed is addicted to work so he wants to focus on his company. And Sue also wants to settle down for a family, which doesn't make sense because in the last movie, Sue was independent and didn't care about having a family, and now she's somewhat of a stereotypical woman, which doesn't again make sense. Yes, Reed wants to make a family at the end, but the writers should have made him decide instead of making Sue tie him down like it did. Now, about the Silver Surfer, his character growth also doesn't make any sense. He's ate 7 planets to save his planet from the Galactus and worked for him, but now all of a sudden he just wants to save Earth and get face off against his master without much persuasion, which again doesn't make any sense. Wow, Sue looks like his wife, but really, do you want to risk your own planet with your actual wife on just to save the planet with a woman that looks like her on it? I wouldn't. Yes, I'm bashing on this movie, but I don't really mind it. The problems seem to be big to me, but to be honest, I get why they did this a little bit. This is because this is how the movie was like, the first movie was like, but I do like some of the action scenes, like for example Johnny chasing after the surfer. But again, this is another problem. Nobody worked with each other in this film. At the end, Johnny uses his condition and uses all the powers by himself to defeat Doctor Doom, while Silver Surfer won by himself. They should have worked together at the end of the movie. In my personal opinion, it should have been a small fight with everyone facing against Doctor Doom, since his story wasn't shown much in the movie, in my opinion. Then a massive fight against Galactus at the end. They should have done this because they are a team, not they're not solo heroes that have to work as a team. In the first movie they were a team, so I do not see why they changed this at all. I know there's a lot more problems to state, but I think we don't really need to talk more about this movie because everyone that has watched this movie knows all the problems, and even though yes, it's a somewhat mess, and the first movie was a somewhat little bit of a mess as well, but it's not like the franchise carried on. It died all the way back in 2007, so I'm just going to leave the dead corpse the way it is. I don't need to shoot it even more like I just have. Thank you guys for watching the first episode. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe to let me know. But if you like the video, do all them things, but also in your comment, just if you had one little problem, or if it's a big well, not a big problem, but a somewhat problem, please just comment it down below. This is the first series and I really want to make it the best for you guys, so please do what I just said. It will help a lot to help with this series. So see you guys, peace.
Hold up.